Hello, hello, hello. This is Elizabeth and Elton Brewington with Discover Brightside, and you are on our channel. And you're in for a treat because we're going to introduce you to some very new people that you've never met before. And wherever you watch this segment, whether you're on LinkedIn or Zoom, or you're on Facebook, or you're on Tumblr or Pinterest, and you catch this video, make sure you like it, you subscribe it, you write us a comment. Now, if we receive your comment before December the 18th, 2024, you will be invited to enter to win some of our wonderful prizes, but you have to do a few things. You have to make sure that you attend in person on Zoom virtually on December 18th in order to be able to win that prize. Now, if you attend our Zooms or you contribute to the community in whatever way you form and you email us, then because we may not know that you're sending us comments or anything, then we will automatically enter you to win because we want you to do something on social media in order for you to get that entry. And we have some amazing prizes, and I guess I can announce them now. So we have Mighty Delicious, which is a gluten-free flour. So for all of you who will be baking this holiday season and have health conditions, this is something you might want to win. It is absolutely second to none, delicious, and you won't even feel that you're doing a healthy flour alternative. We also have a coffee that's just a single serve. You can just put it in your cup of hot water like a tea bag and enjoy a cup of coffee, whether you're anywhere at the airport, in a hotel, attending a conference, at your home. It's so convenient. We also have Belle Essence. We have Deborah on, and she will tell you in a minute what her prize is going to be. We have Bill Pickney, who's the author, and he has donated several of his books, A Tale of Two Climates, One Real and One Imaginary. So without further ado, first of all, we want to thank you, veterans and our military families, and especially those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. And we love all the loved ones that made particular sacrifices and are still grieving for their loved ones. We are with you on this channel, and tell us your story. We would love to hear it. And so as we do it every year, we've been doing this now for 5 years. We have Staff Sergeant Reginald Laverly, who has actually served in the US Army as a combat veteran. And not only is he a combat veteran, but he has come back to serve us even after he has retired. He has done many great things, and especially for us at the Brightside community. He is the Director of Marketing and Sales for Brightside, and he is our moderator for today. So over to you, Reginald, and welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. Reginald Laverly here, coming out of North Carolina, and I'm proud to be the moderator for the Veterans Day podcast. I will say, first and foremost, serving the American people for that period of time was one of the greatest honors of my life. I don't think anything else will ever come close. So it's an honor to be able to remember this today and to be able to share and just remember all the sacrifices that veterans made. But the thing that's important is that we brought on a very special guest to talk about his experience. So sit back, relax, and be ready to listen. I'm going to bring on, and it was a great, and I spoke with a guest earlier today, and it was one.
Reginald, you have to bring Donna first, and then everyone else. Yeah.
Understood. I just needed to let him know who's coming up before Donna. Got it.
Got it.
Okay. Well, our guest is going to be. Before we do that, let's proceed to the main thing here. We're going to, at this point, I'm going to defer the floor to Donna Ford. She is our sponsor for this evening's podcast. She is an Air Force veteran who has served many places, done many great things. And at this time, I'm going to defer to her. Good evening, Donna. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing well. Thank you for that great intro. That was very kind of you. And welcome to everybody in the room tonight. Just so that I know who's here, Uh, is anybody else here a veteran other than myself, Reg, and our special guest?
Yes, we have a lot of veterans. Okay. Oh, maybe Reginald was right. Let's go into a quick intro and then we'll bring Donna in. I apologize. Reginald, over to you. Let's do a quick intro. So your presentations will be after Donna, but just do a quick intro. Back to you, Reginald.
Okay, thank you. Well, at this time, of course, I'm on the spotlight here with Donna Four. We've come to know each other for the last couple of years, grown to be really, really good friends, shared experiences. We were in the military around the same times and even in the same era. I didn't know this, but I was stationed in Virginia when she was stationed at the Pentagon when 9/11 happened. Well, of course, neither one of us knew that then, but it was amazing because the experience I learned that I had being 2 hours away from the DC area and what she had was vastly different. But we both remember the same event and how it changed everything for all of us. Donna, if you will, tell us a little about yourself and for the group so we know who you are.
Thank you, Reginald. So I'm Donna Four. I spent 30 years in the U.S. Air Force. I was a military intelligence officer, which a lot of people say military intelligence is an oxymoron, so that's kind of a joke within my community. But in any event, I was inspired to join the military, and I hope that all of you will share what inspired you to join the military as well, because my father had been a World War II vet, and he always regaled us with all these stories of things he'd done in the war and the people he'd met and the experiences he had. So I always had this wanderlust. So it suited me to go in the military. I went on 9 deployments, mostly Middle East. I was also in Africa, Iceland, all over Europe, Australia, Japan. So I got around quite a bit. And Central and South America when we were fighting the drug wars, which sadly that didn't go so well, but I spent a lot of time in Central and South America. And what I learned from being in the military was that, you know, people are important to you in the military. You always have people that you rely upon, who have your back, right? In the civilian world, you don't get that same sense of people being there for you, right? So it's a tough transition, I think. And I learned after I transitioned to being a civilian that, I miss that camaraderie, that closeness, that ability to know that that guy or gal that's to my right or my left is going to, get me out of a jam, whether it's literally in wartime or if it's just, a tough day at work. I was in 2 wars, Desert Storm, the first one a long time ago, and then the Balkan Wars. A lot of people don't remember, but Yugoslavia fell apart and basically genocide ensued. And so to control the situation, the U.S. and a NATO alliance went in to separate the groups and to stop the genocide. So I was over there in Europe for that operation. I was at the Pentagon, as Reg alluded to, on 9/11. We do a 9/11 event every year with Claire to talk about that. And I explain what that day was like from a eyewitness standpoint. I wasn't injured, obviously, but I lost 9 people in the building that mattered a lot to me. So it's a heavy day. It's a sad day for me. But the real story behind 9/11 is not 9/11, but 9/12, right? The day we fought back, that we said, hey, we're not going to take this. We're Americans. And if you try and take us down, we're just going to get right back up and come right back at you. So that's what I'm the most proud of, was how we responded, and that we went after those that had attacked us and killed 3,000 people in one day. You don't let that go by. So that was a proud moment for me. And I had a nephew who has since left the Marine Corps, but he was inspired to join the military from 9/11, and probably some of you in the room may have been as well. A lot of our younger members of the military were inspired to join the military because of the experience of 9/11 and then wanting to do something to help out. So, as you know, the operations we had in Afghanistan and Iraq were quite difficult. They were lengthy, a lot of casualties. So we ought to often say a prayer that we had men and women that volunteered, knowing that they were going to be in harm's way. It was going to be a difficult slog for them, and yet they did it anyway. So my hat's off to them, and I really admire the troops that served during OEF and OIF. So that's my story. I'm now a civilian. I work for a big company called Mutual of Omaha. I work within the life insurance and financial planning arena. and I'm very proud to help my clients with whatever they need in terms of financial support and help. I'm eager to hear from all of you all. So I guess at this point, Reg, just explain how we're going to introduce everybody, or let them introduce themselves, whatever you think is best. But thank you all for being here tonight. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Donna, and thank you for your service and everything that you do, even after you took the uniform off for the very last time. One thing I can tell you that Donna and I have in common: we know that service never stops. It never stops, but that's a good thing. But at this time, we know we've got plenty of people coming on, and we're glad that you're on. So we'll just go one at a time and be able to introduce yourself. And I want to start with Deb. Good evening, Deb. Could you please introduce yourself for us and tell us what you do?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. My name's Deb Pocalis, and I am the founder of Belle Essence, which is a natural skincare company. It was an accidental business. I was working to solve my own skin issues, and I developed a couple of products, and somebody offered to put them up on Amazon, and the rest, as they say, is history. We've grown from 2 products up to about 20. In addition, my background is in ethical business practices, primarily in the fashion industry, but I have expanded that to everything that I do. And also, I'm an advocate for small businesses. I am a small business. I've always been a small business. And this business I started in my 50s. So for anybody who is thinking that you're too old, you're not. And I encourage anybody who has an idea to pursue it, because you're never too old or too anything to go after your dream.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Deb. Much appreciated. And I definitely know some people that have interest in those products. The next person I want to bring up to the stage here, Tamara Oxman. Good evening. Please introduce yourself. Please just tell us a little about yourself, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, hello everyone, and thank you for inviting me to this Zoom meeting. My name is Tamara, as you said, and I live in a quaint little rural town in Elgin, Ontario, Canada. This community that I live in is actively engaged in promoting environmental programs, things like reducing, reusing, and recycling. And the residents here have inspired me to become a better steward of the environment. For many years, I held a deep commitment to observing a weekly day of rest, and being surrounded by environmentally conscious individuals in my community has led me, has led me to believe that the planet could benefit from sustainable activities and a break one day a week. As I focus on enhancing my mental and spiritual well-being, I find this practice has been immensely beneficial for me, and I'm particularly thrilled that it also contributes positively to the environment. So several months ago, I created a website encouraged by my husband and my son. And this website is earthsabbath.world, and it's to advocate for weekly Earth Sabbaths. I've experienced significant personal benefits from keeping this practice myself. And I believe that if more individuals embrace the weekly Earth Sabbath, it could have a profound impact on our environment. As a mother, I aspire to leave a better world for my son and future generations. My website promotes weekly Earth Sabbath practices that aim to reduce harmful activities to the environment while enhancing personal well-being. So today in this meeting, I would like to introduce the weekly Earth Sabbath for holiday planning on this Zoom meeting.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next I want to bring up Latonia Parks. Good evening, ma'am. How are you? Hopefully I got your name right, ma'am.
Close enough. How are you?
Great. How are you? Welcome to the call.
Oh, well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Great seeing everyone, new faces, and our friends, the Brewingtons. My husband and I are retired military, and post-military, we seem to have I guess we're trying to catch up from where we spent the last 20 some years in the military. We're trying to catch up by opening franchises, it seems. So here we have a real estate office that we run. My day job, I'll say that. His is golf. And Donna. And we also own a Cold Stone Creamery in Hope Mills. And I'll say recently, about a year ago now, we opened a UPS store here. So we seem to be on that trajectory of, franchises trying to, maximize that 20 years that we missed being out in the public, so to speak.
Wow, what amazing! How
Yeah, we
amazing.
have to give you a big clap and thank you. She always makes you so proud, of all her achievements, and she's always opening a new business. Just like many of us would take a holiday or a trip, she's busy opening another franchise. So
Go
congratulations.
figure. I
You're-
thank God. I
you're-
thank God.
So that's
Absolutely.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay, back to you.
Tanya, you
Yeah.
didn't tell us about your military service, dear.
Okay, I shall then. And it's brief. I spent 20 years and 11 days in the Army. I retired from Fort Bragg before it was Fort Liberty. So that's the reason I can call it that. But yeah, I spent 20 years in. And my husband's also a retiree. He spent 24 years in. So that's kind of what I mean when I said we've been making up lost time.
Tell us about your full-time job. What's your handicap?
Look, I don't even know what his is, and I really couldn't care less.
Just to be able to play, okay.
Right, that's all he wants to do.
Okay, it's okay, I understand.
I hope you're well.
Keep your mind clear. Keep your
Yeah.
mind- Awesome, awesome. Good
Oh,
deal.
there he is. Hello, Bill, with long time no see. Okay, welcome. All right.
All right. Well, Mr. Peckney, we see you here and we're glad you're here, sir. If you will take the minute to introduce yourself and tell us about, and also thank you for your service, by the way. I know you had a long and distinguished career in the military and civilian service.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's been a while, and thanks for having me again. I'm Bill Peckney. Spent 50 plus years in the workforce, 22 of it on active duty in the Army, and another 20 years in the aerospace industry with Northrop Grumman. I want to thank all the veterans here that are especially the true veterans, the true military people that have actually fought. And I was a soldier scientist for my 22 years, and my only hazardous duty was early on with the Navy hurricane hunters, and so I appreciate all of you and respect all of you so much for actually being fighters, where I was just a soldier scientist. And so my background is meteorology and atmospheric physics, and it was that through my Army and Northrop Grumman career. In the Army, it was protecting the soldiers on the battlefield by telling them how to survive on in nuclear and chemical and biological environments, and that's it in a nutshell for me.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you so very much. Next,
Good to be here.
good. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I want to welcome Kiwana Eaton. Hopefully I got that right. Good evening, ma'am. Feel free to tell us who you are and about yourself at this time.
Okay, thank you, Reginald. Oh, yes. My name is Kiwana Eaton. I am from Opelika, Alabama. I got my start, let's see, I went to the U.S. Navy, and my education was a big part of my why, because I was raised by my grandmother and she had an 8th grade education. So me going to the Navy helped me go back to school, go to school